Hey everybody, Charlie Nerd 2 here. Welcome back to Disco Elysium. We last left off, we called our precinct, reported our badge missing, and kind of found out that we were kind of the laughingstock of our station, precinct. So now we're going to head back in, talk to Garth, and see if we can figure out what we're going to do for a room tonight, and if we can get into the back warehouse room through the kitchen. We'll try using some tools on that and see if we can get in there. Don't really have any strong leads as to what we're going to do. We have to find our badge before we can really do anything, so we got to try to figure out where that's at. All right, there's more people here now. Let's talk to some of these other people if we can. No, we can't. Let's talk to Garth.
Can I help you?
About that money I owe you.
Yes. Have you got it?
Yeah, how much do I owe you again?
A lot. A lot. For the room, drinks, and broken window, 130 real.
Okay, I've got 12.
Like what? I was really enjoying talking about the money you owe me.
Well, I don't have it yet. Another thing?
Another thing. Great. I love those.
Blue steel door.
Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door.
Okay, I was just trying to make sure he didn't have any other options for that.
Yes.
And goodbye. All right, let's go try to access this door. Can we hit shift and go? We have to hit shift and manually move. All right. This door. Let's click it again.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue.
All right, let's equip. Maybe a pry bar could help us. Let's put the bag away. Let's try to pry bar this door open.
You see a heavy steel door.
Okay, that doesn't work. Let's check our journal. Track down our gun. Okay, yeah, that's right. They said a pawn shop might have our gun. Maybe the pawn shop has our badge. Pay for damages. Station wouldn't help us. Who made the call? We haven't found that out yet either. And what do we have here? We have a level up. Okay. Before we use this level up, let's check our journal again. And let's look at these that we can retry. Damage ledger. Now that's logic. Or we could do pain threshold and retry that door. That's challenging. Conceptualization for sunglasses. Man from Hemjaw. Pile of Eternite is perception. Perception might not be a bad one to invest in. So perception or logic? Alright, perception is motorics. See, hear, and smell everything. So we notice details. That's something we might want to do. And then logic is at 5. Raw intellectual power. Let's go logic. I want to go super intellect. Accept and close. No looking back. Okay, so now we can go damage ledger again. So let's check it out. Here's our ledger. Interact.
It's the ledger you found in the trash.
92.
Cabbage of hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
All right, can I read the case files now?
Yes, at last. You find a way to piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. HDB 41, date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120117000, the next world mural.
Weren't those officer and precinct?
Why, yes. Your precinct number is 41.
So HDB should be my initials.
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
I don't know what to say to that.
I got nothing here either. Logic really isn't the best faculty to have this conversation with, but it's the one you got. So sorry.
How long does it take to read the case?
It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start?
The Next World Mural, The Unsolvable Case, The Square Bullet Hole Murders, The Couch in an Unexpected Location, Murder at the Hookah Parlor. Let's do the Next World Mural.
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couronne.
Okay.
Cause of failure, rent too high. The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible, only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class."
On the middle class.
People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case.
Okay.
The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lecturers have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the Next World Mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown.
We'll read on.
The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3.
What is a plebiscite?
The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villalobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between 2 options.
Okay, so a plebiscite is a vote. Even if the message is correct, you shouldn't be painting a mural on something that isn't yours, so remove the mural. It is wrong.
A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us.
Middle class are not to be blamed. It's human nature. All that remains is wreak havoc on the middle class. I like it, but can't we wreak havoc on other nations instead? I don't think we need to attack ourselves. I believe that's rubbish.
No one cares what you believe in,
True.
man with the smelly toilet ledger. What do you want to tackle next? Or are we done?
Are we going to get anywhere with this? The unsolvable case.
AKA Leslie and Burke. AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. On January 29, the unsolvable case made its way to you. Why you accepted it, it is unclear. Every officer, and indeed most civilians in Jamrock, know it's unsolvable.
Okay, so we're from Jamrock, I'm assuming, which is known to be a bad place.
You were so drunk, you didn't remember what it was when you signed on. That, or you were high.
Thanks, electrochemistry.
Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You cannot change the nature of a man. and you can't lock them away because public indecency and small-scale property damage are not punishable by incarceration.
Okay.
The only way for Leslie to stop flashing his genitals to bypassers and for Burke to stop dismantling signage and rear-view mirrors would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which in their 40s or 50s, it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, is a medical improbability on par with you ceasing to produce the expression.
Okay.
Threatening fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemyaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol, so Burke and Leslie would expose and rampage even harder. You tried it all, and still the complaints wouldn't stop, as they hadn't stopped for 10 years.
So this is the unsolvable case, is Bert and Leslie?
It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street. Because there they are, on the corner of Perdition. And what is Leslie doing?
Leslie is exposing.
Good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and the fact that they're both drunk. But then again, so are you. The case becomes considerably less comic one day when Burke takes a swing at your ledger.
Okay.
He must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. You're drunk out of your mind on potent Pilsner. You slam the hardened plastic board in his face. Then you proceed to beat him unconscious with it.
Okay.
In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie, who, at this point, is tending to Burke.
Okay, but I fixed that compartment. That's how I was able to get those zoo and aquarium tickets and that postcard.
He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You've smashed it open on poor Burko's kneecaps. The good news is, Burke can't walk anymore.
Okay.
Can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke, who knows, but both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is solved.
Okay, so we solved it with good old-fashioned violence.
Which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing. The end. Do you want to read another one?
We're going to read these other three later.
Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
Let's put it away. All right, let's put this away. What are we going to do? We don't have a place we can sleep tonight. What's this say?
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez.
That's me, Mr. Reasonable.
The air suddenly feels calmer, more transparent in a strangely tender way. Perhaps it's the hangover. Perhaps it's a temporary surge of serotonin. But something tells you.
Tells me what?
It's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience.
Okay, what's the Kingdom of Conscience?
It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only been achieved a handful of times.
Okay, what are the circumstances?
Incrementally. Yawn. You'd get there faster with a little speed. History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place. Too quickly. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come about gradually. increment by increment.
Okay, tell me more about the Kingdom of Conscience.
The kingdom is difficult to comprehend and even more difficult to describe. Partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. The kingdom of conscience is post-capitalist, post-national.
Go on.
It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual.
Okay, let's give it a shot. Let's go there right now.
Slow down, Mr. Reasonable. Did you miss the part about compromising and taking things slow?
All right, then let's get there eventually.
That's right. Remember, real democracy is just around the corner for Revachol. When that real democracy kicks in, a long time from now, we are all going to be so much happier.
Somehow I think not. So that's a thought we can focus on. How do I unlock this? Kingdom of Conscience. -2 half-light. Heartache is powerful, but democracy is subtle. Incrementally, you begin to notice a change in the weather. When it snows, the flakes are softer when they stick to your Warrior 1 forehead. When it rains, the rain is warmer. Democracy is coming for the administrative region. The ideals of DeLorean humanism and are reinstating themselves. How can they not? These are ideals of the Coalition and the Moralist International. Skies are signal blue, and they're not only good, they're also powerful. What will it be like once the nuanced plans have been realized? THC. Alright, we're not going to do that yet. Okay, we have got to go to the pawn shop. I don't know if it's still open, but I don't have a place to sleep. I don't know where Kilm is sleeping. Sneak out after he's gone to sleep. So there is that one guy that doesn't want to speak to him because of his race right around the corner. So if he goes to sleep, I can go talk to that guy. Right now, we're going to go to the pawn shop, which is not this way. It is down this way. And we should grab any bottles or trash that we see on the way. This is a trash bin here. We can't interact with it. Let's go on in the pawn shop. Let's ask him about my gun and possibly my badge. I hope he has my badge. It's really the only thing holding us up right now. Alright, let's talk to him.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Alright, Bird's Nest Roy. By the way, do you happen to have any guns like the ones carried by cops?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
Her. Alright, who was it? Ooh.
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh God.
Continue.
The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another. Alert.
Wait, I sold you my gun?
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
Okay.
And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind.
Who was the buyer?
She didn't seem like a policeman. Although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her.
Okay.
Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the Citizens Militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
I don't like it either. What if she intends to commit crime and blame it on the Citizens Militia?
You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her.
Any idea where I can find this buyer?
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
Man, this sucks. All right, let's talk about something else.
Of course.
All right. No idea where their badge is either. Is there anything else I can interact with here? This is yellow. Let's interact with it.
What a shirt. All other shirts pale in comparison to the muscular man with antlers and immense Zweihanders.
Okay. So that's just that shirt. I gotta admit, I'm kind of at a loss here. I think the only other thing we can do is go try to examine the body, which means we're going to throw up, because I can't think of any way to not throw up around the body. We're supposed to get 2 balls for these guys. I can speak with this individual way up here after Kim is gone. Let's make sure we can't talk to anybody else in here before we go out back. Can we talk to Kim? Let's talk to Kim.
Yes?
I think you should know I can't remember anything, in case you haven't picked up on that.
No response. He just arches his brow. He's having trouble processing it, believing it even.
There was drinking involved.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs?
I'm afraid this is a medical situation.
Really? You look fine to me.
He's performing triage. I'm talking serious, unbelievable damage here. I saw myself in the mirror and I had no idea who I was.
This psychodrama is unbecoming of an officer.
Yeah, well, I'm not doing it by choice.
Clearly, he prefers to think you're malingering. He cannot fathom that anyone could drink so much as to retroactively erase their entire life.
It's not psychological. Some sort of major brain damage has occurred on an unprecedented scale.
Then you should consider seeking medical attention. You can use the radio in my kinema to call your station's Lazareth. Was there anything else you wanted?
Okay, so we can call our Lazarus. Tell me about the case.
What do you want to know?
Anything about
Maybe you can tell me what you do know to help me narrow it down a bit.
it. Guy behind the counter thinks some union people hanged a man.
Then you are not that far behind, actually. Do you want me to brief you?
Yes.
3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute.
Do we know anything about the victim?
A security guard or worker of some sort hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth.
And we don't know anything about the caller.
They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex.
And I'm assuming they would hide themselves to keep retribution away.
There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
Okay, I got it.
Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer.
If we're from different precincts, why are we on the same case?
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
Fair enough.
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it.
I have amnesia, dude.
Better still than an imbecilic cop-off.
Tell me about it.
It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim.
All right, let's go inspect the victim and throw up.
Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case?
Got all I need for now.
Good.
Nothing for now. We'll talk to him again. Let's go ahead and put on our inspecting gloves. we might as well wear a hat. Is there any reason to not wear that? Oh, because of rhetoric. We do have reaction speed. You know what? We'll leave it on. What does rhetoric do for us again? Rhetoric is persuasion. Okay, intellectual persuasion. Reaction speed is very high. Okay. And then we have pissing competition called Lazarus, track down our gun. All right. Ooh, it's snowing. Okay, let's inspect the body.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
So what are we gonna do? Let's try this very low check.
The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything you'd expected. More fever than odor. It fills your mind, flushing you from within.
All right, let's throw up. Sound effects, ugh.
You feel a great force ringing from your stomach. Your body curls and pushes it out, burst by burst,
You don't have to be so descriptive on this part.
until a pool of vomit lies under your feet and your throat stings from the stomach acid.
All right, now can we inspect the body?
The smell of Commodore Red rises from the pool. Among it, distilled spirit and bits of shish kebab.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Happens to everyone. Keep it.
Thanks.
The hangover is clearly making these worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head.
Okay, where do we get it?
There's the fruit nearby. Maybe they have some in their apothecary. If they don't,
Greenhouse.
there's a greenhouse here, and a gardener with a wheelbarrow on the corner of the whirling in rags. If she works here, she might have something for the smell.
Okay.
Pretty clever.
Okay, so we have to get ammonia. What is this?
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type.
Oh, there are Kappa types?
Yes. Guess what's yours?
Cool cop?
No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then, shall we?
Is there a reason we would want to opt into this? But yeah, obviously he has self-loathing with all the alcoholism. So yeah, I am sorry.
Of course you are. It's okay. See if you can get something out of this, like info. Or maybe every time you say you're sorry, you get $1 million.
Yeah, I doubt that'll happen.
That won't happen.
All right, so now we have a new thought. Embarrassment to the party. Okay, that may end up being good for us, but we need to unlock these other ones here. I don't know how to do that. Journal. Inspect the body. We need to get ammonia from the gardener or the freet. We want to go ahead and hold the bag again. All right. Let's go get some ammonia. What's up with the kid? He's still throwing stuff. Gardener might have ammonia. The gardener is right here. Hey, gardener.
I can't believe it's snowing again. It felt like springtime just a few days ago.
I heard you might have some ammonia.
Sure, I'm done with it. Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache.
Okay. You know, I haven't eaten or drank anything all day. I have a horrible hangover, and I just threw up from the stench of this body, but yeah, ammonia will be alright. Autosave.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
Alright, let's leave. We gotta equip the ammonia. We'll do that next episode. Thanks for watching. If you like what I do, if you're enjoying the content, please consider a like, a comment, or a subscribe. And stay tuned for next episode. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.